In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate, distinguished audience, Assalamu alaikum, I come to you in peace. It gives me great pleasure to join my voice to those of other women world leaders on the occasion of the 25th anniversary of the Bejing Conference of 1995. That conference was a historical milestone. Hillary Clinton's famous words, "Women's rights are human rights," still resonate today. And the Bejing Platform for Action, adopted by the 17,000 official delegates, set the way towards a better appreciation of women's role in society and called upon us to facilitate, enhance, and celebrate their participation in the development of the world. Many of the goals outlined in the Bejing Declaration, such as education parity, elimination of maternal mortality, and non-discriminatory legal and regulatory frameworks, have guided the efforts of most countries. Still, by disrupting the economic and social world order, the COVID-19 pandemic is threatening decades of progress. Also, we are witnessing a growing pushback against gender equality. Each one of us needs to remain vigilant to ensure the protection of our achievements to date. This is particularly the case in Afghanistan. After several decades of authoritarian regimes, we have been introduced 20 years ago to the privileges of citizenship within a republic. We now live in a new Afghanistan, where men and women have had their rights guaranteed by the Constitution of 2004 and are slowly discovering their duties and responsibilities. Under such a regime, Afghan women have flourished and are now acceding to decision-making positions, whether in the government or in the private sector. Our young ambassador to the United Nations is a case in point. We are proud that she has been elected to the Commission on the Status of Women, CSW. She embodies the government's commitment to the empowerment of women and the contribution of Afghan women to the development of our country. Although our national report on the application of the Bejing Platform submitted a year ago in September 2019 indicates that there is a need to further action to implement the existing women-friendly laws and to address deep-root forms of discrimination, especially in rural areas. We are proud of our achievements to date in further empowering Afghan women. And in order to accelerate this process, we, among other things, have recently established a High Council for Women to empower women through leadership. We are appointing women as deputy governors into all our 34 provinces, and we have decided to include the mother's name on our national ID cards. In parallel, the government is implementing the second phase of the 1325 National Action Plan on Women in partnership with UN Women and through the UN Group of Friends of Women in Afghanistan. We are consolidating the international support for the women peace and security agenda in our country. Today, we also are working towards reaching a peace agreement with the Taliban, a wish of all Afghan citizens, especially Afghan women. The government's negotiating team includes 4 women, and some 50 women constitute an advisory council on peace under the name Unified Women's Voices for Peace. This will prove to be a long process, as the gap of values between us and our interlocutors is wide. But the government is aware that no peace can be achieved at the expenses of Afghan women, and that any peace to be sustainable needs to acknowledge the constitutional rights of Afghan women. please wish us strength and steadfastness in our quest for an enduring peace. And thank you for your attention.